course include introduction to hazardous waste, type and causes of hazardous waste, character of hazardous waste, adverse effect of hazardous waste. Finally, we are going to see the treatment and the disposal method of hazardous waste. The objective of the course is students able to understand, to recognize hazardous waste materials in the workplace, students able to understand the process of how to develop and manage the safe and the proper handling, storage, disposal of hazardous waste. Also, students able to understand how to minimize the risk of handling, storing, disposing of hazardous waste. Finally, you have to understand the component and the necessity to comply with the laws prevention or education. So, as literal definition of the word hazardous, hazardous is a broader term which all waste that can danger for any reason, including those that are toxic. In this case, toxic means a poison substance which cause disease or serious injury to human and animals by interfering with normal physiology. On other hand, the term is properly used to describe pure substance, whether or not they become the waste. So, what does it mean when we have to say hazardous waste? Hazardous waste means any waste which, by reason of character, such as physical, chemical, biological, reactive, toxic, flammable, explosive, corrosive, which causes the danger to humans or the environment, either internal or external. Therefore, this hazardous waste encompasses with waste generated during the manufacturing process of commercial products such as industry involved in petroleum, refining, production of pharmaceutical, petroleum, paint, aluminum, electronics product, and so on. So, hazardous waste are either solid or liquid or gaseous that may be deadly or harmful to people or environments that tend to be persistent or non-degradable in nature in the environment. That means this hazardous waste is unwanted material that is believed to be deleterious to human safety or healthy or environment. So, however, it is difficult to give exact definition for this hazardous waste. Why? Because this hazardous waste is associated with the waste depend upon composition, physical form, chemical property, physical property, and biological property. Here there is around two important forms. This may be as we seen earlier. Hazardous waste can be liquid, solid, content gases, or sludge. However, if improperly treated or disposed, it can causes from injury to disease, both people or destruction of environment. So, in regulatory terms of Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, hazardous wastes are that appears on one of the following lists or character. This may be the hazardous waste may found in F list or K list or P list or U list on the shelf. So why it is important to create such lists? Because to understand the hazardous waste or clear and make simple hazardous waste accordingly, or if you list any way to hazardous waste, no need to testing for such type of hazardous waste. So this is easily to accessible for any readers or researchers on the shelf. Here hazardous waste exhibit, which is exhibit or stimulate or hinder at least one of the following character. This ignitability, they have ignitable, they are corrosive, they are reactive, they are toxic. There is some history regarding hazardous waste until 80s, which is 100, 800s. Most materials used in homes and industrial well natural product. It is obvious. Manufacture of products result in waste such persistence, toxic, flammable, corrosive, explosive were generated. In 90s, petroleum were used in large population, particularly around developed countries. From 1930 to 1950, halogenation found in improved property, especially non-flammable halogenated pesticides were very effective in this situation. So in 1990s, continue public awareness about these problems or hazardous waste problems. Why? Because there is a possibility found in soil, in water body, in air, in food. So in 2000s, the global concern is directly focused on hazardous wastes transboundary, including internal and external evidences. So some examples that used in the earlier period, for instance, DDT, which is abbreviated from dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane. This is 3 chlorine and single hydrogen and carbon bond. It is white crystalline, solid, no apparent odor or tastes. It is man-made. Okay, it is man-made. Organochloric consists of mixture of these DDT isomers. It's made by reaction between chlorine gas and double benzene ring structure under optimal temperature and pressure of conditions. DDE is formed easily because of high reactivity of chlorine, DDE, which means dichloro, diphenyl, dichloroethyl, 2 chlorine and triple hydrogen carbon bond, as well as DD, which name indicates from dichloro, diphenyl, 2 chlorine here, and the dichloroethane, and the single hydrogen carbon bond also made in the same reaction, often contaminated DDT. But both of these DDE and the DD both are toxic to living organisms. The second one is actually mercury. This mercury is one of the important heavy metals found in natural environment in the 3 forms. The first one is found as metallic mercury, second one is organic, and the third one is inorganic mercury. In this case, metallic mercury is most common natural occurring forms. The organic here, the result from uptake of mercury into the food chain. Most of the common is methyl mercury and combines with carbon. Okay, and the other organic form is dimethyl mercury, which is the most toxic form of mercury. Some bacteria and fungi and the natural process can change mercury in the environment. Methyl mercury is produced by microorganisms in the environment rather than in human activity. The third one is inorganic mercury, which combines with chlorine, sulfur, and oxygen. But the first one, organic mercury, is combines with carbon. So the 3 forms of mercury is here. First one is mercury found as elemental, mercury found as inorganic, and the mercury found as organic. Here, when have to elemental mercury here, high lipophilic. Why? Because it loves lipid here. It hates water. So low hydrophilic, and here low lipophilic and high hydrophilic. Here actually the organic mercury and elemental mercury sometimes it is similar. For instance, ready to absorption through inhalation here, but here it is easily absorption through gastrointestinal tract. But we have to compare here poor gastrointestinal absorption and rapid absorption as from skin, lung, kidney, and heart. So in the case of inorganic mercury, it is low lipophilic, which is high hydrophilic, poor gastrointestinal tract, which is here similar to that of elemental mercury in case of absorption. The other remainings are polychlorinated biphenyls, methyl isocyanates, and these are some elements before. So thank you very much. We will see